Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, how we know that nutrition is probably the most important thing. And I am not, ladies and gentlemen, talking about pizza and Pepsi. I'm talking about nutritious foods. So as we look at and talk about certain things, I want you to think about the whole time that I'm here and I'm sharing information with you, how important it is for this colon to stay clear and clean. Think about this. Your mouth is connected to your butthole. It's one hose. It's one hose. It starts here and it ends here. It's one hose. And it's tucked in and curved around and it's laced and it's folded and it comes out that way. So if it doesn't come through here, it comes through here. Now, what happens in between is urgently important. Let me give you, we'll take you on a little short journey. This little short journey is going to take a bite of food and take it all the way through the journey. So when you eat, your food starts to digest in your mouth, on your tongue, with your saliva. First stages of breaking down your food is chewing it. Some people eat like little farm animals. They never chew their foods. They mash and swallow. Not good. If when you chew your foods and you chew it properly, your saliva mixes with the food, and what happens is you have enzymes that's created in your saliva that helps break down the food. So when you do that, then when the food gets into the stomach cavity, and let's assume we chewed it well, it gets into the stomach cavity, what happens is the food is broken down into a complete liquid. Now your stomach is behind the rib cage. Feel your rib cage. The stomach is behind the rib cage, protected by the rib cage. Most people think this is their stomach. It is not. This is your colon. Your colon is between the hip bone and the rib cage, the base of the rib. All of this is gut. This is large and small intestines. So when the food in the stomach is completely digested, it's a liquid and it passes into your small intestines right about here. And that's where most people get a lot of bloating and gassing, and you eat, you feel full, and it's like, is it gonna ever move? And you take a couple deep breaths and you feel a little better, and breathing is so important when it comes to digesting your food. But when you get everything moving in there, now it's in the small intestines, and again, let's just assume you chew your food properly, then it gets into the small intestines that is about as big around as your thumb. That's your small intestine. It is 27 feet long, 22 to 27 to be exact. That's a lot of gut. So the food moves into the small intestines. In the perimeter of the small intestines is millions of microscopic fingers, we call it, villi. And you've probably heard that before. But these microscopic fingers, as the food flows over them, well, it's liquid now, it siphons the food down into the bloodstream and sends it to the body for its nourishment and nutrients. And that's where you get your nutrients from. But think about this. Your body does things automatically. You don't need to think about your heart to beat. You don't have to think about your hair to grow. You don't have to think about digesting the food or even blinking your eyes. Your body does it naturally. And if you know how natural all these things work, you have to know this. If you're not giving it the right nutrients, it's not going to do its proper job. So, following the food from the small intestines, it dumps into the colon right about at the base of the hip, at the top of the hip. dumps into the colon, and it's liquid. It goes up the side of the colon, curves under the rib cage, goes across the belly, curves under the rib cage, goes down to the hip bone, and then it curves through the center of the body and back out to the anus. There you go. It turns into hard matter about halfway across the transverse colon. Halfway across the transverse colon, the colon does something called a mega contraction. It squeezes that liquid, and when it releases, there's a beautiful little turd. Rolls over under the rib cage, and there's a hairpin curve that goes up and comes down into the sigmoid. Right? That's where it starts piling and packing and piling until the brain says, excuse me, you better find a toilet because it's time to come out of there. Right? And you know the signal, but it did all of this automatically. Automatic. You know, it's a beautiful thing how the body works. It really, truly is. When you consider that your heart pumps 24/7. I met an old lady the other day, and she was old. I'm a senior. She was old. She was 103. Thank you. And I said, you mean to tell me your heart's been beating for 103 years? She's a little old lady now. Think about this. She said, yeah, baby, I guess so, because I ain't never died. Can that make sense to you? And I'm just flabbergasted that this lady has had a heartbeat in her body for 103 years. Non-stop. Now, had you ever thought what makes the heart beat? Had you ever thought about what keeps that fire going? Think about when you go to a hospital and they have to do an EKG or electrocardiogram. What are they measuring? Anybody? Come on. What are they measuring? Electrocardiogram?
Heartbeat.
Thank you! Electricity in the body. Right?
Yeah.
Sparks coming from somewhere. Where are they coming from? Where do we get them? How do they stay there? You want to know? You want to see it? I have a light bulb here. This light bulb and this little conductor is carrying electricity. Anthony, my humble assistant, thank you, Anthony. Give him my hand. Anthony has set up my light bulb, and when I turn on this little button, my light bulb should have juice. Oops! It didn't light up. Does anybody have a nickel? A dime? Anybody? Come on. Quickly. Look at the ladies. Grab the purse. First up, here she is, my girl. What's your name?
Catherine.
Catherine, you know what?
What?
You get a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. My new best friend. Okay, I have a dime from Catherine, right? And I have something here that's going to light up the light bulb. Want to see it? A dime. Oh my goodness. A conductor of electricity. A dime. But you know, you are conductors of electricity too. How does it get in your body? How is it conducted in there? You know what? It comes from the minerals in the ground. It conducts electricity in your body. So, I have here a bottle they gave me downstairs in the green room. Would you like to open that up for me, please? Thank you very much. What's your name?
Christian.
Hey, Christian. My man. My name man. Okay, so I got a little bit of water here. Wasn't it a new bottle of water? Christian knows. He's the man. Oops. No lights. No lights. No lights. That water is dead.